Hey folks, this is Kalani. Welcome back to the 7.2 PTR where I've got quite a haul of information for you. Most of this will be regarding legendaries, which is super exciting, and how we can finally target the ones we're after. If anyone is familiar with the Blood Shard vendor from Diablo 3, we've pretty much been given that, but for the Broken Shore in patch 7.2. So how this is going to work is you'll farm up a currency called Nether Shards by killing pretty much anything on the Broken Shore, and especially by farming the Centenax beacon events when you are able to. The beacon events are endless portals of Legion demons which have a chance to drop more or better beacons, meaning you can farm pretty much endlessly. If you want more info on the events, there will be a link at the very end of the video to something I put together a little while ago looking at how the events work and what you can buy with the Nether Shards. The main attraction of this currency seemed to be the ability to purchase token items which you could turn into gear, similar to how the Timeless Isle worked in Mists of Pandaria. If you want a chest piece, you buy the chest token and use it to gain a chest piece of appropriate armor class and a set item level. These tokens now have the ability to generate a legendary item. So we're assuming that if this procs a legendary for you, it will be for your current loot spec and for the slot which you bought the token for. That means if your best in slot legendary is a belt, you can buy a belt token, and then a belt token, and belt token after belt token, and just hope it procs the legendary and boom. Best in slot legendary without having to worry about getting something lackluster. The only unfortunate side effect of this is that if you want a specific legendary ring, and you don't have a Sephuz, you're kind of rolling the dice there. That goes for anyone who has two legendaries which share the same slot, I guess. What this means is that you can finally target specific legendaries, even if it is another installment of World of Gambling. I'm really curious about the drop rate. This system worked so well in Diablo 3 because you could award legendary items at a pretty decent rate because there were so many on the loot table. When you only have one legendary for a loot slot, there's only one item in your legendary loot table. Somehow I don't think you'll be getting that without a whole bunch of grinding. Now the current prices for these tokens are placeholders, so don't worry about having to gather a ridiculous amount of Nether Shards. We don't know what this value will be set at just yet, but I can guarantee it's going to be much cheaper than what we see here. These tokens apparently aren't ready for testing, and giving them a silly cost basically prevents us from purchasing and testing them right now, but I'm not too sure if the price really matters. This will be the new grind on mass farm for anyone who still needs their best legendaries, and probably still for those who don't. This also makes it so much easier to swap specs, because you can target your other specs best in slot legendaries with ease, making the transition a bit smoother. Speaking of changing specs, from the Q&A today we learned that in 7.2 specs will have their own bad luck protection. So if you have 4 legendaries but they're all for marksman and you swap to BM, you can expect to see your first BM legendary very quickly because the system will treat you as if you have no legendaries at all. The first question I asked when I heard about this was, okay, so what if I have a legendary that isn't spec specific like Pridaz or Sephuz? And that has been answered on the forums quite recently. Currently, the system would treat those legendaries as one for all specs. So even if you got 4 legendaries while in marksman loot spec, if any of them are not spec specific to marksmanship, they will count towards your other spec's legendary count as well. To me that seems kind of lame, but we'll see if that changes or not before 7.2 goes live, because we've got quite a bit of PTR testing to go. The legendary system is evolving and changing, so let's hope it's for the best. I'm hoping farming Nether Shards will somehow stay entertaining, as it seems we'll probably be doing it for a while. I wonder how many people will be farming Mythic Plus after 7.2 launches if Nether Shard farm is more efficient for legendaries, because Mythic Plus probably won't be worth it for the AP anymore. So that's definitely something to keep an eye on. But that's it for this video. If you have any questions or queries, please leave them in the comment section below and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. Or hop on over to Discord. We have a server at discord.gg/Kalani. Great place to come ask questions or just hang out. Remember to leave a like just below the video before you leave, and if you want to see more, make sure to subscribe. But apart from that, thanks for watching folks, good luck and have fun, and as always I will see you next time.